Hello, my name is Jason and welcome back to I Have a Story. I just got done making a video about how women are just as dangerous as men. Got up and had to do my walk-in and stretch my body and go sit on a toilet, get off the toilet, go lay down. My daily routine. I literally spend 25 to 50% of my day, if not more, in a bathroom. My life is so depressing as it is. The only way I can to go to my doctor's appointments or any meetings, and it even makes these court dates even harder, is that in order for me to go to these things and be able to be there, I can't eat the day before or eat very, very minimal. And when I have multiple days of appointments like that, then I have to go multiple days of not eating, because if not, I'm spending my whole day in the bathroom. So I want to make this video. I got up again, started walking, and this is what I have to do. Lay down, stand up, sit on a toilet, sit up, stand up, lay down, go sit on a toilet. Now I got to thinking about it. Women are even more dangerous as men, because now they've been empowered and entitled to get away with it, and they know it. This woman specifically 110% knows it. That's why she went to that court system, because she knows it. Everybody knows it. And then we wonder why men are becoming bad. How many good men out there are becoming bad because they are put in the same situation that I am put in now, other than I have the medical conditions that I can't fight my way out of it. I've tried getting jobs, and either nobody will give me a job or I can't make it on the job. Who's going to pay to go sit in a bathroom? You can't go every day, 5 days a week without eating. You just can't do it. And even without the eating, so I mean, it's far more than even just that. So women are even more dangerous nowadays because they know they can get away with it. And it's wrong, especially like in my case where I walked into court and 110% proved that not only was she lying, not only was I not the one who was being the violent perpetrator, I proved that she was. You listened to that recording. That was the specific day, and I put the protection order on the screen, all of it. She claims on that day I called 911 on her because I was abusing her. Does that even make any sense? Doesn't make any sense that it says right in that protection order. One of the days we were having an argument, I went to walk out the door and she got between me and the door and stopped me. That's a woman who's so scared of her abusive husband, right? I'm so scared of you, I'm going to stop you from walking out the door, and I'm going to physically put myself between you and the door you're trying to get out. And that judge could not read through any of that? No, he could. He just didn't want to. That is illegal. Illegal. These are court systems, judges, people who are supposed to be upholding the law. So why are they allowed to break it? I want to know, why are they allowed to break the law? Anything above accusation and evidence is bias. That in itself is illegal in court. Bias is 110% illegal. So why is it still happening? How do I get it to stop? Because it's going to be the end of my life if it doesn't. But I don't want it to be the end of my life. So, well, I don't think I showed you this in when I made that video. I was talking about how I'm smoking myself to death. Again, so much going through my head, so much emotion. In 2019, I lived in a national forest with my dog for almost 2 months while another man was sleeping in my bed with my wife in front of my children. Again, she's got a complete documented history of doing the same thing to every husband. I can prove it. In her first marriage, she even got pregnant with another man's baby while her children were very young and with her first husband. It's right in her divorce decree. And she was pregnant with another man's child. She has a complete documented history of it. But nobody cares because it's her. I mean, maybe the judges are like, hey, she's a whore. Yay, come on in. That's what I'm hearing is going on all around me. Not specifically in my case, but I've met many. I asked a girl, how is it you keep getting picked up for drugs and they don't do nothing but slap you on the hand, turn you loose? She goes, it's easy. All I got to do is go get a hotel room and take care of the judge, and he lets me go. I've actually heard that from 3 different women now. How is this allowed? There's been evidence, there's been reports, and nobody will even open an investigation. But yet this continues to happen. And I'm supposed to continue being a good man, letting it happen to me, right? And letting it happen to my children, and letting it happen to every other man and child who goes into those systems. Is that how... If I ever one day do become a bad man, this is why. You ask every community, and I'm not going to these people and asking them to stand up for me. Many, so many people, because I've done it for so many people, and I mean, I just don't... I see somebody in need, I don't sit and hang out and play. I don't have a clique and a group. I mean, I got a family, but I got a family here, finally, in my life. I've never had that before. I finally have a very good, solid family relationship here. And it's with my community. Even my old communities that, I mean, literally, I was the guy who did for everybody and things that nobody else would do. I'm not going back and calling those people up. I want my story heard, and I want those people to come out and stand up for me. That would be more believable than if I were to call them up and have them standing right here with me, because anybody can stand next to me and say anything. Somebody was just at my house yesterday and said, yeah, I was sharing your story. Person said, how the hell do I believe this? Well, one, I have the evidence. I mean, to prove so much of what I say. Part of why I've made other videos about, like, my video about the Lake Erie algae bloom. I want to share my knowledge, and that I care enough to see and recognize and look at these things and share it with you to try to protect everybody. I hope that those videos go a long way to show you that. I'm not just a nobody, but I have nothing to show for it but a bunch of scars, wounds, pain, and a lot of people who are still alive. But I want my story heard. Air this on every news channel. Put it on Amber Alerts. Do you know this guy? Has he ever done anything for you? And then let them come out and stand up for me. I know there are many people who will when they hear that this is what I'm in. But I don't want to be the one to go get them. I want you to go get them and find it. And all you got to do is air my story. Part of me doing this, I want to prove myself every way I can. And we live in a world that has become so disillusional, confused. We turn the freaks loose. Bad's happening everywhere, and nobody knows what to believe or think anymore. That is why we're supposed to have laws. That is why we're supposed to have people who know, good people who do their job and do right, to enforce those laws. That's where it all, I mean, without, we just have anarchy, right? Without law and order, there's nothing but anarchy. That's why the world is where it is today, in anarchy, because we just threw the law book with the Bible and the Constitution and everything else, and we threw it right down the toilet. Bad's always happen, but in part because people don't stand up and do what is right. It starts with the people. We've been divided. Can't have a divided country. Our people can't be divided. Selfish, hiding indoors, scared. Can't have that. That's not the future I want for my children. And that's my biggest reason for doing this and standing up and fighting is, said, I've lived long. I'm getting almost to be 50. I've lived a good life. It's been a bad life too, but I've lived an amazing life. If I died tomorrow, I've lived. I've lived more than you could line up a mile long of people who have never lived anything like what I have. I care about my kids. I care about all the kids and the future for our children. That's the only thing that's got me even standing here right now and out doing things that I might otherwise be doing. My kids are what is my glue that holds me together and makes me the better person that I am. My kids were what kept me out of all my past, all my pain. Anytime I hear a song, I'll use Hank Jr. for an example. I'm proud of my daddy's name. That was always painful because I'm not proud of my dad or his name. And I carry that name. And this did not happen with my first kid. It happened because I was probably too young and dumb with my first kid. The maturity over time, I'm sure, had a lot to do with it. But when I had my two babies that I have now, I quit looking at it as me and my dad. That was when I started looking at it as what I'm going to do for my son. I want my son to hear that song 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, 40 years from now, and go, I'm proud of my dad. There'd be nothing more joyful in my life than to have that. But it's all been taken away from me to an extreme sense, to even abusing the children to do so. I can't take any more of it.